This topic is the classes of extracellular signal molecules and the types of receptors that they bind to. So, extracellular signal molecules bind to cell surface receptors in order to transduce a message and alter cell behavior, and they fall into 4 categories of hormones, local mediators, neurotransmitters, and contact-dependent signal molecules. So in this little video, you can see that the red shape is the signal molecule and it's binding to the receptor on that pink cell membrane, and then it is affecting the green molecule inside the cell. The first type is hormones, which are produced by endocrine cells in multicellular organisms and are secreted to send a signal through the entire organism through the bloodstream. An example of a hormone signal molecule is epinephrine, which is commonly called adrenaline, and it comes from the adrenal gland and is a derivative of the amino acid tyrosine. It is known to increase blood pressure, heart rate, and your metabolism. The next type is local mediators, which signal through paracrine signaling, which is a process in which signal molecules diffuse locally through extracellular fluids around the cell that they were secreted from. Sometimes cells will respond to the local mediators that they produce themselves, which is called autocrine signaling. An example of local mediators is the epidermal growth factor, also referred to as EGF. This local mediator is a type of protein and is secreted from various types of cells. The signal molecule stimulates proliferation of epidermal and other cell types. So in this picture, you can see that the red circles are the local mediators coming out of the signaling cell, and then they're binding to the receptors of the target cells.
Neurotransmitters are used in neuron signaling to deliver messages over long distances to a specific target. As a neuron is signaled, it sends an electrical signal, which is eventually converted to a chemical signal. This electrical impulse stimulates the axon terminal to release a neurotransmitter, which then diffuses across the synapse to its target. An example of a neurotransmitter is acetylcholine. Acetylcholine is an excitatory neurotransmitter and is a derivative of choline. It comes from nerve terminals of many nerve muscle synapses in the central nervous system. Another class of extracellular signal molecules are contact-dependent signal molecules. These are the most short range of all the signal molecules, as it doesn't require the release of a secreted molecule. As seen in the image, the cell makes physical contact through the signal molecules in the plasma membrane of the cell with the receptor proteins in the plasma membrane of the receptor cell. An example of contact-dependent signal molecules is delta. Delta is a transmembrane protein of prospective neurons in other developing cells and inhibits its neighboring cells from specializing like the signaling cell. In the image, you can see the transmembrane protein delta interacting with the neighboring cell. In conclusion, we have learned that each of these molecules bind to either receptors on the cell surface or intracellular receptors. If the molecule is too large or hydrophilic, it cannot pass through the cell's membrane and will bind to an extracellular receptor. Molecules that are small or hydrophobic enough to pass through the cell membrane can bind to intracellular receptors. Thank you for watching.